y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Iembrajane if you are new here, and if you're returning, thank you for returning. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so today's video I did a poll on I said catfish or jail story time, and jail got the most votes. Thank y'all for voting. And if you're not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is Iembrajane. Period. I didn't try to film this video since last Saturday. But the important part is that we here today, period. Okay, so the story time took place last year in June 7th to be specific. Okay, so I was at work. I got off at like 12. I ripped my pants at work. I don't know about y'all, but I don't wear underwear all the time, okay? So I didn't wear underwear to work. I don't care. So I ripped my pants at work. I went home, okay? Got home, my friend wanted to go buy her sneaker link or whatever. So I went, dropped her off and went back home, okay? Around 2 o'clock, she asked me to come pick her up. And so I went to go pick her up. So when I went to go pick her up, I took my two sisters, they're 18, and my niece with me, she 10, okay? Okay, so, and mind you, where we was going is like, what, 2-3 minutes away, is right around the corner, okay? So we get in the car, we driving. One of my sisters is extremely tall, okay? So she was sitting in the front seat, okay? So when you come to the end of the street, like it's around the corner, so when you go, like turning the corner, it's a left and a right. The left have a stop sign and the right have a yield sign, okay? If you went to driving school, you know you stop at a yield sign. You stop at a stop sign and you pause at a yield sign. So I paused at the yield sign because I saw that they didn't have no traffic coming or whatever, and I kept going. Okay, mind you, at this point in time, my car was broken, okay? As soon as you turn it on, like when you started, you have to wait a little while, you know, of driving for it to accelerate, you know, to a higher speed or whatever. So, you know, I wasn't going fast. So they had a cop pass. I look in my review because that's just what I do when I see cops, and I saw that the cop was making a U-turn or whatever, so I already knew that he was about to pull me over. So he pulled me over, we get into the parking lot. He don't say nothing. He don't say nothing. He don't come to the window. He don't use the horn, nothing. Like, so at this point, I don't know what he pulling me over for, because we wasn't smoking or nothing. My car didn't smell like weed, nothing. They might have like 5 little roaches in there, but my car was for the most part clean or whatever. So while he not saying nothing, I'm gathering all my stuff, like my, you know, my license, registration, stuff like that, and putting it all into one envelope. And I called my girlfriend just in case something happened. So after 10 minutes, he still didn't like come to the car. He didn't knock on the window, nothing, use the horn, nothing, or tell me to get out the car, nothing, okay? So his backup arrived 10-15 minutes later. So that's when they use the horn and tell me to get out the car. Okay, so when I get out the car, they tell me to put my hands up, and they got guns pointing at me. At this point, it's only 2 cop cars. So I dropped the envelope and I put my hands up. The backup. So I'm gonna call the cop that pulled me over cop, and I'm gonna call the cop, the second cop, backup. Okay, so backup was the one who told me to walk to my license plate or whatever. So I walk to my license plate, then he tell me to walk to him. And I'm going off. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck y'all put me over for? I've been sitting here for 15 minutes. All I'm going is down the street. Like, what the fuck y'all doing all this for? Da, da, da. So he put me in the handcuffs or whatever. And, you know, he trying to put me in the cop car. This when shit get interesting, y'all, okay? So he put me in the handcuffs and he turned me around. Mind y'all, I told y'all my pants ripped at work. Why I didn't change my pants, I don't know. I don't really like changing my clothes until after I take a shower. So I didn't change my pants. So like I told y'all, I had to rip my pants. So I'm telling him like, sir, can you turn around or whatever, because I'm exposed, you know, my vagina and my ass is out. So he keep trying to stuff me into the back of the truck or whatever. And the reason why I'm not successfully getting in the fucking truck is, one, because he have my calves up against the what is called a footstool, up against the little step stool thing that's on the truck. And then he hit my head on like the protective shield that's in the back. And I'm telling him, like, you hit my head, if you scoot over, I could step up and get in the truck. He not hearing it. Like, he just keep hitting my head over and over right here. And so I start crying, y'all, because he making my fucking nerves bad. I'm like, and then cop just, he'll turn his head when back up and hit my head up against the shield, but he'll turn his head back. Okay, so they finally get me in the car, okay, y'all? So by this point, it's 7 cars of backup, 8 in total, okay? And so as they, you know, as they telling my sisters and my niece to get out the car, I'm telling them, you know, it's 3 females, 2 of them 18 and 1 of them 10. Like, y'all could drop the fucking guns. Like, they ain't got no weapons. So they proceeded to keep pointing the guns at them. They made each of them get out the car one by one. And they handcuffed the 2 18-year-olds. And, you know, they put the 10-year-old in you know, everybody was in separate cars. Cop kept coming to the car and asking me questions. So the first question he asked me was like, why you didn't get out the car? And I'm like, sir, you didn't tell me to get out the car. Like, you didn't tell me what you pulled over for. Like, you never came to the window. So he like, I'm not obligated to come to your window. And bitch, as a black woman, as a black person, I'm not obligated to get out of my car. Because what if I got out of my car and you shot me? That'll be no. So I didn't get out of my car. So he slammed the door in my face when I said that. So he left, and by this point, all like the family put up, like my girlfriend, her mama, my brother, shit like that, telling me that they were like, one of the cops was telling the 2-year-old, like, you think you fucking growing up in the car smoking weed and drinking? Mind you, we had no liquor, no weed up in the car. Like I said, they had like 5 roaches. My car didn't smell like weed, none of that. Like, so they would, like, they just was doing that shit for nothing. So they went and searched the car. They found the roaches, y'all, or whatever. So that's when backup kept going to my family, whatever, and he switched the story like 3 times. The first time, he said that cops said that I was on 2 wheels. I told y'all that my car was broke, so it couldn't even accelerate that high. So that was a lie. Then they said that I had weed in the car. That was a lie, cause you pulled me over and then searched my car. Like, how you know they had fucking weed in there? Or he said my hair, like, mind you, he didn't tell me nothing, like, he didn't tell me nothing about a fucking head. Like, he didn't even come to my car. And come to find out, like, the whole, like, and I saw it, but the cop who actually pulled me over, cop, never went talk to my family, like, never went told them what was going on, nothing. Like, he kept the backup cops that he called in the group trying to, like, convince them of a reason why he should take me to jail and shit like that. And the one white cop that was out there was like, you know, they wasn't gonna take me to jail, but the one who pulled me over was adamant about taking me to jail. And I honestly believe it's because he thought that we was a car full of men, and so he waited for backup to approach us, and then got his eyes bust when he saw it was a car full of females. So cop didn't bring me to jail. I wasn't in cop car. I was in backup car. So backup brought me to jail. And so when we get there, I asked him for a piece of paper. Yeah, cause like I said, I was exposed. He said, ain't nobody worry about that. And proceeds to, lead me into the fucking jailhouse or whatever. So cop meet us there, he in there. And so like they had a female cop there and a male cop there. And they asking him like what I meant for, and he like it's circumstantial. And I don't know about nobody else, but I don't remember circumstantial being a fucking charge. Like I don't remember that being any type of charge, misdemeanor, felony, none of that. Like what the fuck you talking about? So the female cop brought me into the holding cell or whatever. So she brought me out the first time and she brought me out there to do a survey. So in the survey it said she like, do you feel like you was something held against your will or some shit like that? I said yeah, and everything else I said. Like when it said something about being fair, I said no, shit like that. So when she brought me back into the cell and they read the paper, they was going over the paper, she was like, damn, she basically saying you're a dirty cop. You need to stop being dirty to people, shit like that. And they started laughing. I didn't find that funny because if you know a fucking cop dirty, why would you, not report it or some shit like that? Because he still hadn't had a charge, okay, when I get to this next part. So she called me out again to do my mugshot, and I'm gonna put my mugshot here. She called me to do my mugshot or whatever, take out my piercings and shit like that. And I'm asking her at this point, like I'm still crying. I'm like, do he even have a charge? You feel what I'm saying? Like, do he have a charge? Like, what I'm in here for? She was like, oh no, I don't know, baby. Like, I'm just here to do my job, shit like that. So she bring me back into the holding cell. I'm sitting there. I wasn't in there, but like, 45 minutes to an hour. So she brought me back out or whatever. And she like, what you still crying for? Your people outside. And I'm like, you don't know what the fuck I went through. Like these cops harassed me. Like I really got pulled over for no fucking reason. So when I signed the release papers or whatever, he finally put the charge on there. And it said a headlight and resisting arrest. As I told y'all, I let the man put the fucking handcuffs on me. I guess the resisting part was when he kept hitting my head up against the little shield or whatever. But fuck them. Got released. And there was around 4 a.m. Like I told y'all, this happened around 2. When they pulled me over and shit like that. I got out at 4. When I got out, I called my mama and shit like that. She told me that I had to talk to Eternal Affairs. And I had to get a lawyer or whatever, if I wanted to sue, but I really don't want to sue. Y'all know what I want to do. Y'all know what I want to do. Okay. So then the next day, I go to Eternal Affairs and me and my niece mama went, and we was talking to him. He was like asking me the same question over and over, like rewording it and shit like that, I guess trying to get me to switch out my story. But I wasn't going. Like, bitch, I know what the fuck happened, and I know I ain't do nothing wrong. So he was asking me like, what I wanted to be done, stuff like that. And I was telling him, I wanted them to lose their job and shit like that. So he told me that the charges was gonna be dismissed because of the story or whatever, and the fact that when you look at the camera from the street that I got pulled over on, my headlight wasn't out. It didn't go out until I got to the parking lot. So he found that out as well. But he never called me back. And after the appointment, he called my 2 sisters and my nieces, to get their story. But he never called me back. I ain't really tripping because he said the charges was gonna get dismissed, but I feel like them losing their job still wasn't gonna be enough. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I want more. Like, what's my jail story time? I know it wasn't long ago, whatever, but y'all asked for it and I gave it to y'all. But thank y'all for watching. See you in my next video.